Tell me about the swimming.
Yeah, swimming, outdoor swimming. I'm so cliche, aren't I? You know, everyone's picking up these different things. Yeah, look, I had a friend that hadn't been very well and she had got into it, and there's nothing like a little bit of, not peer pressure, but you know, will you come with me to try it out? Oh yeah, no worries. You know, absolutely loved it. Like, you know, now the winter swims are tough. Like, they will test you. When you talk about hardy people, I look at people and, you know, someone just turned the birds off. That was interesting. I went out, and the endorphins from it are just really hard to describe. You see these people and you think they're mental, and they're little groups and they're out there and they've found their new tribe and they're out. You're out there and the word's present, you're totally present just in that at the moment, and there's nothing else going on. And I'm not worrying about work, I'm not thinking about anything else. I literally am thinking, this is lovely, this is peace, this is calm. And I come back out and all the endorphins flood my body, I feel great, and I feel like I've achieved something in the day, especially during lockdown where we're maybe just at a computer all day. So it'll be a thing that I'll definitely keep going now, post-lockdown.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit down and you shake it off.
Yeah.
Because you have to. But what do you do to shake it off?
Yeah, and sometimes, like, you know, I have a new partner, Jill, and she's a brilliant woman, and I will talk. You know, I'll talk to her every morning, and I would say to her, I said, look, I'm just having a bad day, you know, and you know, she's in the same boat. She lost her husband very young, and you know, you can chat about it or whatever, and I just say to her, look, I just say to her, I'll be grand. I just have to, and sometimes you can't just shake it off. Sometimes it'll take a couple of days, of, you know, and as a fella says to me one day, sometimes it's okay to feel sorry for yourself for a day. You know, but at the same time, you've got a lot of responsibilities, and you know, you're a big boy, and you know, it's not always easy to do it. But sometimes you just have to do it.
When I'm feeling down, I'm feeling exhausted, feeling fatigued, and feeling, oh my God, I can't take any more of this. I can't do one more phone call, I can't do one more Zoom. I'll just have a 4.5 hour Zoom call, relating to issues which are really challenging and really mentally demanding. I get on YouTube, and I roll out my exercise mat in my little living room, and I do a 45 1-hour workout, and I sweat it out of me. I knock the hell out of myself for an hour, and I feel renewed, I feel revitalized, I feel refreshed, I feel mentally and emotionally much happier and stronger, and it cleans the system out. So there's no substitute for exercise.
I heard an interview with the great Cora Staunton a year or two ago, and she said, you know, she knows that if she goes for a half-hour run, no matter what the circumstances, at the end of that run, she'll feel better.
You always feel better after exercise, and whatever type of exercise that might be, whether that's a 2-mile walk with my wife, getting home after that, you always feel better. And I encourage everybody to participate in some form of exercise on a daily basis if possible, but certainly 2-3 times a week at least.
Well, I suppose coming from that loving heart, one of our main practices would be to try to cherish others. So cherish just means to like value and really feel them to be important. So generally our first thoughts when we wake up in the morning are ourself. You know, it's like my breakfast, you used all my milk. You know, if you think about it, you know, if you watch your mind, which a big part of this practice is watching your mind and seeing where you're at and what's going on for you. It's all kind of like a bit egocentric, you know, it's like me, myself, I, and what's happening for me and how this is affecting me and so on. And just a really simple way to take yourself out of the suffering of that, because it is a suffering. It's tedious monotony, if not like horrendous at times, is just to take your mind and put it on others. Think about others, you know, think about, oh, I wonder how Joe down the road's getting on, you know, maybe I'll give them a buzz, or I wonder if such and such needs a few groceries dropped around, and even if maybe sometimes there's not that much that you can do practically, but it's just sending your mind out to others, wanting to, in that kind of spirit of generosity and kindness, just lifts you so much. And then kind of on the flip side of that, it's trying to see the kindnesses that we receive, you know, because we're often so blind to that. You know, we can think, you know, I maybe need to go and get some more milk or oat milk or whatever. Somebody's put that on the shelf for you to go down and pick up. You know, you never think of it, but it's just like tuning in to, like, everything I need is actually here for me to live and survive and you know, be well.
The one big thing, Jerome, that I would love people to have is patience, right? I understand it's very, very difficult. The science has progressed at lightning speed. It's incredible how fast it's done, and our capacity to be able to, like, you know, as we talked earlier about getting the vaccine and the drugs is been amazing. If we're not patient, we end up in situations where people are going to be interacting with one another, having house parties and all sorts of things that will bring the virus back out again. And a small portion of people do that. Unfortunately, people just say, look, screw it, I've had enough, I'm not going to go there anymore and I want a break. And they end up then infecting a bunch of people, and they will then transmit it to their own homes, etc. So this is why I think patience is really the big word now. I would expect to see, if we keep going the way we're going, I would expect to see the numbers getting down to very, very low levels. I would expect summer to have a significant impact, and therefore being able to open up reasonably well, because bear in mind, a lot of the vaccine rollout will have happened by then. I mean, I estimate probably towards the middle of August, most people in Northern Ireland will have been vaccinated. And so that, coupled with good weather, a lot more people then should be able to interact or be involved with outdoor activities that they can't do now, because most of the interaction we have now is indoor, you know. So I would be reasonably optimistic that if we, you know, keep the numbers down, put the effort in for these next few weeks, and get suppress the numbers, get the vaccines rolled out to a very, very high level, I would be fairly confident that in the summer we'll have at least something similar to what we had for a few weeks last year, which would be, I think, really good.
And where exactly are you swimming and what time of day? Because I know that's important.
Yeah, look, you know, I feel like a phony, because there's people that are out there every morning doing it, but like, it's about high tide. You can just check it on the internet. 2 hours before or after high tide's the best time to swim. Any places like Helen's Bay, obviously within restrictions and movement, so that always depends on what it is. But Newcastle Harbour is lovely, Donaghadee lovely, all places that, I'm not being funny, I just haven't, Ballywalter Beach, lots of places that I just generally wouldn't have been before, and I've just been out wanting to just get new spots for swimming in, or you see different things with Facebook groups and you're like, oh, that looks lovely, up round Bangor, Brompton is gorgeous as well. So I know, how weird, you know, never thought this would be part of my life, but it's something that's kept me sane.
2 things came through there for me. One was honesty. You were able to say, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And 2, a connection, just somebody to talk to.
That's it, yeah. And like, I have a couple of friends who I can talk to, and they'll know the crack. Okay, and like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as often maybe as it would have done, you know. Like, and I think sometimes even my brother, who I work with, is for me to turn around and say to him, you know, just, I'm not having a good day today. Sometimes to even say it is a help. Not that he's going to put his arm around me and say you're going to be all right or like that, you know, but it's just a case of unloading it, you know. Bottling it all up, you know, is not the answer. You know, when I say, you know, you have to move on with it, well, you do, you know what I mean. I'm not, you know, but it helps to talk to somebody.